Hi friends, MattDog2012 here, coming at you with another edition of Why They're Good, a series in which I open a bunch of packs, go to the rares, tell you why they're good. So we're finishing off the fat pack, and so far looking at the rares and the foils that I got, I'm about halfway to making my value back in that fat pack. So all in all, I mean, not bad. You don't really open these to make a lot of money unless you're opening the really old sets, and in which case it's a gamble. So let's get right into it. We got Torment of Hailfire. So it's a sorcery. It costs 2 black and an X. Repeat the following process X times. Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. So each opponent loses 3 life unless they sack a card or sack a creature, sack a non-land permanent or discards a card. So cool card. So you can repeat this X times. So if your opponent is has nothing in their hand and they've got a few things out, you can definitely pay X to have them sacrifice those things. They're going to sacrifice the stuff that doesn't matter to them, but in Commander, I think it'll get pretty crazy because having cards in hand is definitely something that you want, and this will either make them lose 3 life or pitch those cards. Interesting card. In Commander, people might take the life because it's only 3, but if you're running it in Standard, or if you happen to draft that, it'll get really interesting. I ran that curse card that was either sack something, take 3 life, or discard a card, and a lot of times people, they chose to take the 3 life, and it was not their downfall, maybe, perhaps, but it definitely helped me get more of an advantage. So very, very interesting. I kind of like it. So the second rare we have is Refuse to Cooperate. I hate these cards. So one way you can tell when someone has these dual cards is they'll be holding their hand as such, and all of a sudden they'll pull a card and kind of turn it that way. So then you know they have one of these dual cards that are weird. I wish they kind of printed it, on top of each other. That way I can, hide the fact that I'm holding one of these. But oh well. So Refuse it costs 4, 3 colorless and a mountain for an instant, and it deals damage to target spell's controller equal to that spell's CMC. That's pretty good. So imagine you run this in Commander and someone casts an Emrakul, and you cast Refuse. Well, boom, you just did, 15 damage? Or someone casts, a bomb, and you're playing Standard, or you drafted this, and someone casts a 7 mana cost creature. Boom, you just hit them in the face for 7 damage. That's pretty awesome. And then Cooperate is also an instant, 2 colorless and a blue for Aftermath. You cast it from your graveyard, then exile it, and then you copy it. So you can use that later on when you're maybe you have 2 refuses. That'd be awesome. So if you have 3, 4, 7 mana, you cast a Refuse, and then you have this in your graveyard, you can cast a Cooperate and pretty much kill them if you're running it, if you drafted, or if you ran it in Standard. So Sunscourge Champion is our shininess. When it enters, you gain life equal to its power, which is cool. It's 2. It comes back as a zombie later if you choose it to be such. If you will it back by paying mana to bring it back into play as a token, and then you pump it up, and then you're happy. So next we have, oh god, see, another one. So Driven to Despair. So Driven's a sorcery. It costs a colorless and a green, and until the end of turn, creatures you control gain trample, and when it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Okay. And then Despair has Aftermath, and it says, until end of turn, creatures you control gain Menace, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player discards. So you're going to attack, and it's your main phase, so cast this. Your creatures get trample, which is cool. Hopefully you've got some good attackers out. If not, whatever, you can still cast it, and hopefully you have someone that's either unblockable or can get through. And every time that any creature does damage, you're drawing a card, so that's pretty cool. And then Despair, you're casting. You can actually cast this, wait for it to go to the graveyard, then cast Despair, so you have the fun of both effects. Not bad. I would run that in draft if I could have those colors. Unfortunately, it's really hard to pick which colors you have in draft if you're doing a draft, any sort of draft, either a sealed or a regular draft. Hard to pick your colors, but sometimes you can. I've heard a lot of people saying, I'm drafting red and white today, and they do. Imminent Doom. So this card, oh man, I've seen this card. So during the pre-release, I saw someone get the promo card, and this was it, Imminent Doom, and they hated it, and they put it aside and made it stare at them the whole time because it was it was awful. So it enters the battlefield with a Doom counter on it for 3. It's an enchantment. And when you cast a spell with a CMC equal to the number of Doom counters on it, it deals that much damage to target creature or player. Then you get another Doom counter. So it comes into the battlefield, and then you cast something with 1, a creature with 1. And it does 1 damage to creature or player. Then the next turn, you have to cast something with 2. Either creature or instant or something, and then it just hits them in the face very, very slowly, very weirdly. Eventually you'll get to a point where you just can't, and then it just kind of sits there for a while. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section down below, and hit subscribe for more content, and I will talk to you later.